Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10 list. This week's top 10 list is going to be actually a top 20 list. So you're going to get the first half this week, the second half will be next week. We're going to go through the top 20 affordable notes that have gone up in value. Yeah, these notes. I bet just about everybody watching will be able to afford at least one of these notes, and most of you will probably be able to afford all of them at one point or another. Maybe not all at once, but over the course of a year or so, I bet you could get all of these. Anyway, the new price guide, Paper Money of the United States, had just come out. We're at the 23rd edition. So I decided, with all the looking through it that I've been doing, that I would look at some of the more common notes that are out there and see how much they have gone up or down in price. And to my surprise, not only did the high value notes go up, but a lot of the lower value notes went up as well. So I wanted to make a top 20 list showing 20 notes that are very affordable, that are still going up in value. So get them now while they're still cheap, even though they're still on the upswing. All right, let's get started. Number 20. Number 20. Where is it here? This is from the series of 1934. It's a $1 silver certificate. Now, what's cool about the 1934 series is they had this bright blue digit, okay? This particular note also happens to be in really good shape. It is a funny back, so it has the unusual back, not like the backs that we're used to seeing. And because of that, and the fact that it's a 34, so they only made the 34s for a short period of time. Soon after the 1935 series came out, and then they did the 35A, 35B, they went all the way up to 35H. Anyway, the 34 series wasn't out for long. It has this beautiful blue digit, and it's worth more than you would think. Let's see if I can find it in my sheet here. That's not it. Let me look at the other page. There we go. All right, this 1934 $1 note in a grade 8 starts off at $25 in the old book, and it was $25 in a grade 8 and $35 in a 20. The new book, instead of $25 for an 8, has it at $33 for an 8, and in a grade 20 we're talking $40. So it went from 35 to 40 in a grade 20. It went from 25 to 33 in a grade 8. So even the small valued notes are on their way up. This one is in much better shape than that. But anyway, we're looking at the low end prices for beginning collectors on these. So there you go. It was 25 to 35. It's now 33 to 40. That's number 20. Number 19, a note many of you probably have, and this is the note that probably starts many, many collections. This is the 1923 $1 silver certificate. Now, the 23 silver certificate, this is the last large size silver certificate. In 1928, we started printing the small size notes. So if you wanted a large size note, this is most likely the one that you got. The old book had this in a grade 8 listed at $40, and a grade 20 was $60. The new book still has the 8 at 40, but the 20 is up to 65, so even it's up $5. So yeah, from 40 and 60 to 40 and 65. That one is number 19. Number 18. This is a $1 silver certificate. This one is emergency currency from Hawaii. You can see it's got Hawaii written here. It's got the brown seals, the brown serial numbers. If we look at the back, it's got the Hawaii overprint. This was emergency currency from World War II. Now, the old book listed the $1 Hawaii note at, where is it? There it is. The $1 Hawaii note in the old book was $40 to $65. And remember, I'm doing the grades 8 and 20, so 40 for the 8, 65 for the grade 20. The new book is 45 and 70, so once again, still creeping up. The 40 went to 45, and the 65 jumped up to 70. That's a $5 increase. And when you consider you're talking small amounts like that, well, that's actually a pretty decent increase. So that one is number 18, the $1 Hawaii emergency currency. Number 17. Surprise, surprise, it's the $1 North Africa emergency currency. This one in the old book was 45 and 80, 45 in a grade 8, 80 in a grade 20. In the new book, it is, where is it? It's 55 and 85. So in the grade 8, it went from 45 to 55, and in a grade 20, it jumped from 80 to 85. So yeah, it's making its way to triple digits. Definitely worth getting a hold of one of these while they're still affordable, that's for sure. That one is number 17, the $1 North Africa emergency currency. Number 16. Kind of surprising that the next note is actually the $10 North Africa note. The $10 North Africa on the 1934 series with that blue digit, just so cool. I wish they would have put that on the one. The $10 North Africa note in the old book was $50 on a grade 8 and $85 on a grade 20. In the new book, that jumped up to 55 and 90. So from 50 to 55, it went up, and then from 85 to 90. So once again, not huge jumps, but it is moving. Anything on the move in an upward direction, that's a good thing, right? Okay, so that one is number 16, the $10 North Africa. Number 15, what are the odds? Here's the $5 North Africa note. Now the $5 North Africa, this one in the this is considered the keynote, and it's actually worth more than the $10 note, which is kind of bizarre when you think about it. The $5 North Africa note, this particular one, in the old book was $50 in a grade 8 and $95 in a grade 20. It jumped up to $65 for a grade 8 and $110 for a 20. So we went from 50 to 65 on the low side and 95 to $110 as a grade 20. So yeah, that one moved a little bit more, and being a keynote, I would expect it to continue to move at a higher pace than the other ones. But that one there is number 15. Number 14. More emergency currency, just happens to be the way they go, because that's the order I'm going by how much they've gone up or down. This particular one is the $10 Hawaii note. The $10 Hawaii note, number 14 on the list. In the old book, a grade 8 was $75, and a grade 20 was $125. In the new book, that went to $85 for a grade 8 and $175 on a grade 20. So the increase was 75 to 85 on the grade 8, and it was 125 to 175 on a grade 20. So once again, another note going in the right direction, and once again, also in the very affordable range. That's number 14. Number 13, doubling it up to the $20 North Africa. The $20 North Africa note, not North Africa, $20 Hawaii note, I should say. This particular note, in the old book, this was 80 in a grade 8 and 135 in a 20. When the new book came out, it stayed at 80 for the 8, but it jumped up to $150 on the grade 20 side. So the lesser condition notes aren't moving, but the average condition, the ones that have decent eye appeal, those are starting to move. So yeah, 80 stayed the same, but on the grade 20, we went from 135 to 150. That is number 13. Number 12. Number 12 is one of the experimental notes, the 1935A silver certificate, the S note. Now, you guys already know about this one, so we're just doing the prices on this particular one. But if you can find the S note, that would be the special note in the series. The S note in the old book in a grade 8 was $100, and in a grade 20 was $150. When we look at the new book, it's up to $115 and then $150 on the high side. So this one, the lower valued notes actually went up. We went from $100 to $115, and the grade 20s still stayed at $150. So that means any one that you get is going to cost you a little more, most likely. That one is number 12. And finally, number 11 this week. Here is the keynote from the Hawaii series, the $5 keynote here. This one is, where is it? In the old book, $75 in a grade 8, and in a grade 20, this was $125. When we check it in the new book, it is $85 in a grade 8, and it's up to $175 in a grade 20. So if that went from 75 to 85, and in a grade 20 it went from 125 to 175. So that one is definitely moving up. $50 gain on a note that's only 175 bucks. That's a good call. Anyway, that's number 11 for this week. If you learned anything new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. Love reading all your comments. Tune in next week for numbers 10 through 1. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.